मेरा हो गया ना and I say okay जान ले I say boy I better know now you be my top boy.
So Tasha, first of all, congratulations on your new single coming out February the 14th.
Thank you so much.
So what's it called? Tell us all about it.
It's called Oi Oi, and it's my first official release through Be4You, who is the label that I'm signed to. And it's a really fun song, it's a party song, and it's got a reggaeton beat. So I'm just hoping that it's going to get everybody up dancing. It's going to be the sort of song that people listen to when they're getting ready to go out and play in their cars and weddings. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, and this new single that you're doing, it's quite different from the other songs that you've done in the past. So what was your inspiration for going for something so different?
I think, everything that we're hearing on the radio and the sort of theme that's been going on for the last year has been reggaeton, dancehall. And the thing is, I'm the sort of person I get inspired by everything and that I'm listening to on radio. So it just was very natural to come out with something like that. And it just fit with the Punjabi. I didn't think that it would, but it fits so well. And I thought I'm just going to go for it, so different.
Wow, okay. And in terms of the music video as well, you've gone for a completely kind of different look this time round as well.
Yes.
So where did you get the kind of inspiration for that?
My stylist.
Okay.
No, I've always wanted to, in all my videos, I've got a theme where I come across quite fierce and independent, and I've got that sort of, I'll wear what I want, I'll do what I want, and I just wanted that to come across in the video as well, because I think that's what female empowerment is about. It's about doing what you want and feeling good about the way you look, the way you feel, and just having that innate self-belief. And I want that to come across in my videos because I think that inspires young girls,
Truly does, truly does. And on that topic of inspiration, so you love to grow and do new things all the time. So 2017, you've got quite a lot going on in terms of music and film and all sorts of different things. So tell us a bit about that, what you're up to this year.
Well, I know I've got Oi Oi coming out, and then I've got 2-3 consecutive releases, solo releases after that. In between that, I've got Malang, which is now going into a Bollywood film. So that will be released in in May, hopefully, and it's just sort of domino effect from there. Then there'll be tours, and then I'll be going off to India and Pakistan. I'll be doing tours over there, and just sort of getting back into the groove. I've had a year out, which was good for me really, because I always like to go back to the drawing board. I always like to write, and for me that's the source of everything. If I'm not writing, I'm out touring. If I'm not touring, then I'm writing. So it's just, I've now built up quite a vast catalogue of music, and 2017 is definitely the year for me where I just want to share all of it with my fans, and they've been so patient, so thank you.
Yeah, and also the next kind of segment is really about your fans. It's good that you finished right there, because there's a lot of questions our fans want to know about you. We get to see Tasha on the big screen and all the bright sets, but we don't really know where Tasha's come from. So I've had the privilege to be friends with Tasha, so I know that you're actually a graduate, aren't you?
I am.
In
finance and accounts, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, my dissertation is actually published, and it's the benchmark at the University of Westminster. So just in case you do finance over there, check it out.
And you were also running your father's company for a number of years, weren't you? So
I was.
You also got an entrepreneurial side.
Yeah, when my father fell sick, my whole family was sort of clubbed together. We took care of him, the business, and we were the Europe office for T-Series. So for at least about 2 years, I took over the business, and that's where a lot of my time had gone. And that's why there's been gaps in my career as well, because I've tended to my family, which was the most important thing. But my heart has always been in being a musician, because that's for me. There was even though I graduated and I studied, but there was nothing else that I really truly wanted to do. and I've been writing for so long now, and that's where my heart lies. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that there's other skills, but my blueprint is singing, it is music, and being on that side of the fence.
And how have you found it juggling all these different things all at the same time? So having to run a business and writing lyrics is quite time consuming because you've got to be in the right mood, the right mode, have the right inspiration. How do you find the time for it all?
I've got to be honest, sometimes it's not easy. I mean, just like everybody else, we're human, you know, and I'm very, very close to my family. I'm very lucky that I've got this wonderful support network at home. My parents have been great, you know, growing up. I've always had the encouragement from my mother, father, my grandparents. I've got a family of poets and journalists and models, and, you know, so it's very much part of our culture in our family. So they're very supportive to women that want to step out and do something outside the box. So in that sense, it's been great, and, you know, writing is obviously something that does come naturally. It's not something you can really practice. I do feel it's one of those things that it just, you either can compose and put a melody together, or you simply can't. Otherwise it's rehearsed, you know, and I think that's an integral part of being an artist. So it is tough, but then, you know, when you enjoy something, you love something so much, and you're putting music out there that's making people happy, it makes you want to do it even more and work even harder. So it's really the fans and all the positive messages that I receive from my fans that pushes me.
That's really great.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, a lot of us can only take inspiration from a lot of big legends in the music world, but you've actually been fortunate enough to grow up around that kind of atmosphere, and you were only telling me earlier that you've sat several times in the living room with Ustad Nusrat Ali Khan. I mean, that's amazing. How was that experience growing up?
Well, I was really
around?
young. You know, the thing is, because my family were in the music business, we were in Bollywood, we've had cinemas, we've had obviously a music company, and it was just literally my whole childhood is laced with memories of sitting at the top of the stairs, and there's Jagjit Singh walking in, there's Gurdas Maan, there's Anuradha Bodwal sitting there, there's Sonu Nigam, you know, and then obviously when we used to have the cinema, we would have all the premieres there, so you'd have like Shri Devi and Bonnie Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor and Sushmita Sen and Salman Khan sitting next to me, and, you know, so for me, fame was fame, but then I also realised these are people, you know, and they are, you know, majority of them are so humble when you meet them, and they teach you so much. And there was no two ways about it. I was going to go in this direction, and, you know, my family's sort of quite well respected in the industry in their own right, and which made it a little bit easier for me, I'm not going to lie, because being a girl in this industry, you know, you can be vulnerable. You know, you have got to face a lot of obstacles, and you've got to make sure you're surrounded by the right people. But I've been very fortunate in the sense that I've been in the industry for a long time. I've grown up, it's sort of in my bloodline, and, you know, I've had the support, so yeah.
So at what point did you, because obviously you've always been around music with your father and all these great legends, when did it hit you that actually I want to become a singer or get out there and be a lyricist?
I think when I was about 13, 14, it sort of started homing in when I was studying, and then I started putting pressure on my parents. I was like, you know, you have a music company, why aren't you making me famous? Why am I not a pop star? Why is it not given to me on a plate? And my dad said to me, he goes, well, if you really want to go out and do it yourself first. He said, record your demos yourself, you know, send them out to all the record labels, let's see the response that you get. And then when I was about 17, 18, I got signed up by a British record label, which I can't say too much because they went bust. But these things happen, and I did a song called Start a New Life, which was, so I was really going to sort of go for the R&B, and it was actually a dancehall song as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was sort of going in that direction. So then that sort of fell flat on its face, because you go through these things, you know, nothing is ever easy. And then I sort of came across Rishi, and I got signed up with him, and then the journey started from there. So yeah, I mean, it is up and down in the industry, but I think the two most important things is, number one is that self-belief. You've got to have the utmost self-belief, and know where you're going, know where you want to go. And the second thing is just success and failure comes together. So
yeah, and I guess you just have to accept that you're human, right?
Yes.
I mean, with someone like yourself, because you're so much in the public eye, you must get, along with the compliments, you must get a lot of haters and a lot of backlash because of what you do. And it sometimes can be quite hurtful. What's the kind of toughest thing that you've ever come across?
you know what? I mean, when I first started in the industry, and then people would say, you know, a few nasty things, I think I would take it really to heart because I'm quite a sensitive person. But I think generally over time, with maturity, you do grow thick skin, and you just come to realise that actually you don't really know what's going on in people's lives, and they might just be taking their frustrations out on you, and you've got to turn the negatives into positives, and that's the key thing to being in the industry. It's so easy to put to be sucked into it, and you know, to your energy levels to just fall because it is so up and down. But you've got to surround yourself with positive people. You've got to surround yourself with a great energy, and like I said, that belief, and understand that failure and success is hand in hand. You know, in order to be successful, you need to fail a few times, or you need to experience negativity in order to turn that into positivity.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think even as we were discussing earlier, I think a message you can really give young girls is not to be so afraid to create new things, because one thing, you know, our viewers Tasha is great at is creating new things, and this new song that's coming out on February the 14th, Valentine's Day, it is something new. It's not being done in the industry right now, and you are taking a chance with bringing this out, especially after having a bit of a gap. So, I mean, what advice would you give to young girls who are trying to pursue a career like yourself?
I think just be yourself, you know. I mean, with my music, you know, it's so easy to think, oh, you know what, I'm going to do a song like this because it's quite familiar and the sound is quite familiar, or do something that's very Bollywood, which I love Bollywood anyway, but I've got a particular sound and I just want to be true to myself because for me, I'm just a musician. I'm nothing else. In my eyes, you know, I think the industry has become a lot about perception, you know, and nowadays you're seeing everybody's either a model or a singer and an actor and they're a presenter, so they're everything. For me, I'm just a musician, and I've just remained true to the type of music that I'm feeling at the time. I mean, I've written everything from like Hindi, Bollywood, to Bhangra, to R&B, to hip-hop, to country, you know, and yeah, I know, because that's what I do. I mean, I'm a writer. Like for me, just sitting down with a pen and paper, whatever mood I'm in on that day, is what's going to come out, and that's the key for me. Because I think some artists, you know, everybody's allowed to share their creativity in the way they see fit, but you know, some artists, they are just manufactured. You know, they are somebody who just wants to sing and dance. They get a song written for them, and then they sing that song. For me, I am that song, you know, because I've written that song from my heart, so, yeah.
That's so lovely, Tasha. And it's really refreshing to hear that from artists of today. So we're super excited for her new album, Oi Hoi, out Valentine's Day, and we're actually super lucky because she's going to sing a couple of lines exclusively for the British Asian.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tash.
Okay. मेरे सोने सोने नैन नशीले दीवाने मेरे पिछे पिछे सारे मार दे इकणों बला वसा भजे ओंदे तैनू मैं बुलानी ओए ओए जदों गली गली मैं किते लंघदी मुंडे मैनू सारे मार दे ओ सीटी कोलों आके बैठ जा कहंदे मैनू राणी तैनू मैं बुलानी ओए ओए